season. I'm Ed Hansen, the founder of Talking Horse, and this is Anna Rimsky, our wonderful and talented and brilliant and much poorer now that he's paid me to say all that. Artistic director, and he's going to go through different shows that we're planning.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate you making up for that earlier introduction. That was much, much better. Checks in the mail. Before we get ready to announce our lineup for next year, I do want to just take a quick moment and say a sincere thank you to all of you, our patrons, our volunteers, our donors, our fans, for your support over the last few years. It's truly humbling to serve a community that's so dedicated to the advancement of the arts and produce work for an audience that invites new ideas and embraces change. We have done a lot of embracing change. It's that support that fuels our passion. It reinvigorates our desire to create new projects, produce challenging plays, and unique experiences. So I want to thank everybody here tonight for your support, your encouragement, and of course your patience as we've grappled with the process of creating art throughout the pandemic. Now, I'd be remiss to say that without mentioning that I'm exceptionally proud of the talents of our board and all of our volunteers. Over the last 2 years, we have learned a lot, and we have discovered and found new ways to persevere. I'd like to thank some of the people that are here tonight for their leadership and creativity during this time. I would like to start out with early in 2020, Audra and Rashara, unfortunately Audra just had to step out, Rashara couldn't be here tonight, but they put together some incredible cabarets featuring the vocal talents of some of our favorite performers here in Columbia, and of course, we brought new faces in for the first time here at Talking Horse, which is always spectacular. Last October, Alana Berrigan-Scott put together a topical and gripping production of the Zoom play Typhoid Mary. Meg Phillips-Cresby's teams at Guerrilla Theater also jumped into the digital production space. They gave our audience streaming shows that they could watch from the comfort and safety of their own home. And Ed Hansen, of course, he helped us by putting together our fundraising committee for this event and also our Broadway Fools event earlier in the year. And then Monica Palmer, who also put together this year's live auction for that event as well. We are greatly appreciative of those efforts. I would also really like to thank in this moment, because I don't think we've done a great job of doing it in the past, and I feel terrible about it. I want to thank Heather Hatton up there in the room. This streaming space. We could not do any of this without you, so thank you very, very much. There's also a lot of shows to highlight besides some of those Zoom productions. We also did some special presentations throughout last year. Of course, we just got to see the Stable Boys. They brought their form of comedy to Zoom. Who thought they could do that? Wonderful lesson, but it was a lot of fun, and we appreciate that creativity and that ideas to change and bring forth comedy in a time where we really needed a laugh. We also experimented in the recorded space. Last year's Starting Gate New Play Festival, we featured new stories brought to life on camera, filmed by Dustin Hawkins. I want to say a big thank you to all the casts, the crew, the directors, and of course all our writers involved with that, and of course our managing director, Scott. Early this year of bringing Jane Caffarella's E-Baby to life. Now that was a show that we had originally scheduled for June of 2020. When it couldn't happen, that licensing company and Jane herself were so gracious in accepting us to bring it together, record it, and deliver it as a streamable performance. I want to especially thank Lainey Vansett and her team of Rebecca Hawley, Babs Randenzo, Dan Harrison, and then the cast of Mary Shaw, who's with us here tonight. I also want to make sure that we thank Joe Wayner, my good friend, because he did all the recording and editing that helped us bring that production to life. So thank you to all of them. It's been a true pleasure to bring all these productions to our audience in the best way that we could. So finally, I have to give one more shout out to everybody that participated in our original monologue contest, both seasons 1 and 2. I would say by far that was the biggest surprise of our pandemic years. We had no idea what kind of reach we had, but we found ourselves with submissions sent in to us from writers all over the world. And I don't just say that in hyperbole. We literally had submissions from as far as New Zealand, UK, Canada, and of course all around the United States. So that is just something truly awe-inspiring and breathtaking. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who wrote in, who performed, who voted, and who donated. This contest helped us by no short measure. We raised nearly $10,000 from those two seasons. On to the main event. So last time we came together for a traditional show produced by our theater, it was all the way back in February of 2020. We premiered then the Green Book Wine Club Train Trip. And the play was meant to kick off our very exciting Year of the Woman. And then, we need to recap. So our mission in 2020, we were very clear about that. It was to highlight some of the best modern works from female playwrights, featuring leading roles for women in an industry that often designates those roles to supporting parts. I am very excited today to inform you that that mission that we set out on 2020 will continue for our 2022 season. The play that we've chosen is the work of a female playwright, and the central focus is on a female identifying character. So, let's tell you what we got coming up. To begin our season next year, we'll start out with a dark comedy written by Michelle Lowe. The Smell of the Kill takes place in a suburban kitchen where Nikki, Deborah, and Molly are gathered waiting for their unloving husbands, who are gathered together in the next room. As the women begin to confide in one another, they learn that each of their marriages are crumbling just moments before their husbands end up locked in a basement deep freeze. The situation leaves the women wrestling with their ambition, their morality, and each other as they try to decide whether to let their husbands out or leave them in the cold. The Smell of the Kill will be presented just after Valentine's Day, so guys. It'll be on February 18th through 20th, and then the 24th through the 27th. This production features 3 roles for women, any race, ages 20s to 40s, and then it also features 3 men. So 3 men voices. They are not actually seen. So, guys, get ready for that. Now, one of the productions we lost to 2020 was one that so perfectly fit within Talking Horse's mission and values. By far, I think it was one of the most exciting musicals that has ever been announced in our history, and that, of course, is Fun Home by Lisa Cron, Janine Tessery, and Allison Beck. 2 years ago, our team was hard at work preparing for this show until the pandemic forced us to stop. I'm beyond excited to say that we have plans to produce this show. Once again, we've had plan A, plan B, plan B. We're on plan Q now. But I'm very excited to tell you that we're planning to bring this show back to the stage April 22nd through 24th, 28th through May 1st, and then May 5th through May 8th. We have also asked as much of our team as possible to return and pick up right where they left off. And Trent and Kathleen, of course, are in our audience tonight, so we look forward to seeing this vision from you. Anna Nolan, wonderful. Now, for those that don't know, Fun Home dives into the life of graphic novelist Alison Bechdel as she remembers growing up in her family business, the Bechdel Funeral Home. It also deals with her college years and how the discovery of her sexuality may have uncovered her father's own hidden desires that led to his death. Fun Home is a powerful contemporary musical about meeting your parents as they really are. Now, our audiences deserve to see the spectacular Tony Award winner the way it was dreamed up 2 years ago. So thank you. Now, a new addition to our season is a little show called Brilliant Traces by Cindy Lou Johnson. I'll set the scene for you. A remote Alaskan cabin, a a runaway bride, a middle-aged hermit looking to isolate from the world. When Rosanna Deleuze comes crashing into the home of Henry Harry in her wedding gown, their puzzling interaction leads to Rosanna collapsing and sleeping for 2 days straight. All the while, Henry is left with the mystery of who she is, where she's from, and why she's there. These elements come together in a touching dramedy centered around grief, recovery, and what comes next. Brilliant Traces features roles for one woman and one man, and this play will premiere at Talking Horse June 17th through 19th, 23rd through 26th. Later in the summer, we're proud to feature a brand new comedy called The Things You Least Expect by Joan Vale Thorne. This features roles for 3 women, 2 that are in their 60s plus, and 1 man. There's 3 women, 2 that are in their 60s plus, and 1 man. When Claire's domineering husband dies, she begins preparing for a new life of her own choices: traveling, returning to her first love, painting. Now, when Claire's older sister Myra disapproves of her choices and threatens to move in, Claire finds comfort in Sam, a young chaplain. Now, they try to keep their relationship secret, but that proves to be very difficult when Claire's daughter, Caroline, falls in love with the same man. This comedy is all about the ups and downs of relationship and loyalty to family. It'll hit our stage August 12th through 14th, 18th through 21st. Now, through the grapevine, I have heard a couple of people say that our next musical was one that they discovered after we announced it for our 2020 season. They fell in love with the music. I know there was a good group of people disappointed when we had to postpone, but I'm excited to tell you that once again, the rock musical Murder Ballad by Julia Ford and Joanna Nash. We've got that scheduled once again for October 14th through 16th and 20th through 23rd. This musical is nonstop action with a chorus of 4, 2 men, 2 women. The Murder Ballad tells the story of Sarah, who seemingly has the perfect life: a great husband, a wonderful daughter, and a beautiful New York apartment. She has it so easy, in fact, she's wondering where she fits into her own life. As she spirals into self-loathing, an old flame returns to ignite her passion and make her question every choice she has ever made. At the center of a love triangle, Sarah has a choice to make, but, as the name of the musical implies, her choice could cost someone their life. Finally, rounding out this season is one of the funniest shows that I have ever read. The Thanksgiving Play by Larissa Fasthorse, featuring 2 roles for men and 2 roles for women, opens at Talking Horse December 2nd through 4th and 8th through 11th. After receiving a grant to create a politically correct Thanksgiving play for children featuring a Native American voice, Logan begins working with history teacher Kate, performance artist Jackson, and a Native American actress from LA. Or so she thinks. Through the collaborative process, the artists attempt to balance the true history of the holiday with their own privileges to deliver the Thanksgiving play to end all other Thanksgiving plays. Perhaps literally. This clever satirical comedy challenges the values of woke culture and the complexities of representation. Now, that is our season for 2022. We hope you guys are excited as we are about producing these shows. But here's the thing. We need your help. To bring this season to life, we are on the lookout for directors for the following projects: Smell of the Kill, Brilliant Traces, and The Things You Least Expect. Perusal copies of those scripts will be available by request, and applications to direct are open right now. We will post more information on our Facebook page in the coming days. Also, I want to say we promised in 2020 that purchasers of Flex Passes would have those tickets honored. And while it may have taken some more time than we expected, we do stand by that promise. So if you bought a Flex Pass in 2020, it will be honored in 2022. Finally, if you never got around to buying that 2020 Flex Pass, it's okay. It's all right. We are going to make 2022 Flex Passes available starting in November, and we look forward to sharing more information about the upcoming season and other special projects coming soon. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, whether you're here physically at the theater or online. We look forward to seeing you back in the theater, and we cannot wait to start doing this again soon. Thanks, everybody.